Made on Zencaster.
Could have had a V8.
Could have had a V8. Yeah.
All I heard was your mic hit something, but I didn't. Your screen froze.
Hi, I'm Billy.
And I'm Jimmy.
We are the Vulcan Skull of podcasting, and we want to welcome you to the numbskullery that is the Zeotoheropod podcast.
Where creators and fans come together to share their love of their fandoms.
Welcome to this episode of Zeo to Hero. I don't want to speak too very loud because we have a conspiracy, and we don't want any listening devices to hear us. I am joined once again by the bearded beauty, Jim, the only man that still hasn't figured out what Victoria's Secrets is. Oh my god.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. So, Jim, as a lot of our listeners don't know, that we dropped a YouTube video kind of explaining as like unproven facts of why we think that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers through Turbo take place in a American military base stationed in Japan, right outside Tokyo.
If you haven't seen it yet, stop this. Go watch it. It'll be linked in the description below. Go watch it.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I cried a little bit at the very end. You know, it's watch it.
And can you believe he made me read the entire thing? And me no reads.
Mm-hmm. I read everything. It was ridiculous. He was so mad.
I was big mad. I even did the whole thing. I was like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people who can't see, which is probably everyone, he just got all puffy faced and tried to like choke himself out. Like he like hold his breath. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. Then he realized he was fat, and he almost died. It was great.
Almost died. Yeah.
Almost died. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of the making of and how we got to the video, basically. So we're gonna give you like a background and how we made a conspiracy theory that somebody thinks that the tabletop RPG completely disproves somehow.
Yes, I'm still trying to figure out that. Like, how does TTRPG disprove our? Oh my god!
That dude is like, the tabletop RPG completely disproves your theory.
Yes. Yeah, stay there while I roll my D20.
What I got 5 D20s to roll here. I gotta do maximum damage. I'm gonna use Fireball. We got 23 D4s.
Hey Jim, can you move out of your mom's basement, please?
Her mom doesn't have a basement. What are you talking about? Yeah. I know where she lives.
Oh my god.
No basement involved there at all.
So basically, this like kind of proves that, you know, there's a little bit of evil in Zordon.
Well, not a little bit evil, more like a little bit of we didn't get the full story at all, and we're basing this off the show, not the comics
or the Super Sentai,
not the movies, because the movies are their own different universe in itself as well.
A lot of people do link their theories to some of the Super Sentai footage that we have used, and that's kind of what brought upon this theory, that when we were rewatching a series, we were like, hey, wait a minute.
There's a lot of Japanese looking people here.
There's a lot of Japanese lettering on these streets, you know.
Like, hold up.
So we kind of like dove into it a little bit, and then we started finding some correlating like Japanese traditions that you kind of can see in Turbo, or at least the first half of Turbo.
Yeah, like the first couple episodes of Turbo, and like Turbo really pulls it together. Like the rest of the series is like maybe, but Turbo really nails it home.
Yes,
because you can go back and like talk about season 1 and 2 where they had motorcycles and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of fun. Yeah. But like they even back then they had the the Japanese running on the streets and stuff because they're seizing a lot of Sentai footage.
Mhm.
And I like the fact that we used almost no Sentai footage in the entire video altogether. I don't
No,
think
not even.
we used one bit of Sentai footage, and that was TJ being the batter in the Red Ranger uniform.
That was it. Yeah,
that was still really funny because I got you going. So what? It zoomed on his face when he said it.
yeah.
That was awesome.
So I guess like in the very beginning, you kind of see it. So like, of course, Bulk and Skull, you do see them wearing white gloves with their uniforms, which in the Japanese, in the Japanese tradition, the cops actually wear white gloves as well.
And it literally started with one Japanese officer who was trying to mimic the Beatles or something like that, and he put on white gloves, and it took off like wildfire. Like it didn't happen until like 1970, something like that. The second it happened, oh man, everyone did it. Like I was reading a bunch of articles about why they do it and stuff, and well, now it's more of like a sign of respect and stuff for the people they're arresting and stuff, something like that. But originally, yeah, it was one officer during a Beatles tour of Japan put on white gloves, and there you go.
Well, how about that? The Beatles have influenced Power Rangers.
Exactly.
That's not canon. Is it canon? It's going to be canon. We're just going to say it's canon.
We're going to say it's canon because apparently we can, apparently.
yeah.
Sure.
They actually demonstrate some nightstick fighting.
Which I completely forgot about.
Yeah, me too.
I watched this episode and stuff, and I was watching this episode 1 of Turbo, and like they do this nightstick fighting, and it's adorable. I love it. And then you can even go back if you really, really want to get into it. You can even go back to Zeo, back when they were detectives with Officer Stone. At that point, he was Detective Stone, right? They were detectives in Zeo.
Yes. Yeah. Sure enough.
And you can even call that back to ex-officers end up being detectives. Like it's not normal, but it's a very trait kind of thing. Not trait. It's a trope. It's a very tropey kind of thing that officers become, especially in Japan. That ex-officers become private eyes or detectives. Voila! There you go. That's another one you could go with.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Ben from Baker Rangers, and if you like Zeo to Hero and movies, then come check out Baker Rangers Movie Talk. This is a place where we talk about movies we love, and even some obscure movies that we may have not heard about. Check us out on Baker Rangers on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast.
So in this episode, in the episode where TJ's playing baseball, it kind of like relates to the tradition in Japan. Not only Japan, but like that whole Asia region is actually really popular with baseball, and it's really huge over there.
Yeah. Okay, and so we watch episode of TJ, and like I even want to say TJ, like how TJ Cassie and Carlos are not arrived, but TJ and Cassie arrived by a bus. Kind of a Japanese kind of thing to do, huh?
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay.
I really wish it would arrive by train, but here trains aren't really big over here, so that really would have worked. But they arrived on bus, which is kind of reasonable. Moving to a new town, they're leaving. What was it, Stone Creek, and moving to or Silver Creek or something like that. Moving to Angel Grove,
Stone Creek,
Stone Creek, and moving to Angel Grove, and then TJ gets into baseball, and that's not really like. It's not really unfathomable that he would do that. And like there's a bunch of people who play baseball and they play soccer, and soccer's a big thing outside of America. Like it's a huge thing.
The rest of the world loves soccer, and
everyone else likes soccer but us. And I don't understand why we don't like soccer.
I mean, the United States does, but it's not top priority.
Like our males Olympic team is terrible. Not Olympic, the World Cup team. No, the only team that's good is the women's team, and they are consistently amazing. I'll give them that every day of the week. Okay. But like soccer, we had soccer in season 5. We had they had soccer, they had baseball, they had sports. They never did basketball. They never did anything for basketball.
Yeah.
Even Justin played soccer sometimes. So like I don't know, man. Kind of makes a little bit of sense, right?
I mean, I know someone that was stationed in Japan. They played baseball and soccer a lot on base.
Yeah,
and they would play other bases. Look, it sounds like they played other bases too.
See, we're not freaking crazy.
I swear. Wait, who said that?
What?
You
like that scene I did? It was like, all right, everyone. All right, listener, watcher, all around stalker. Like I'm zooming in on your face.
Oh, yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah, and well, this is the one that we don't like talking about because we don't like talking about Tommy. But so in the series, you do notice that Tommy is at the racetrack a lot, and
I know why
the people that work there do not know who he is.
Yeah, and I know they did it for production things. As I know Tommy, Cassie, Catherine. The original cast was leaving. So the cast
were on the way out.
Adam was leaving. Everyone was leaving, and so they had to write them off, and they had to write them off in a way that made it sound like they weren't being written off.
Right.
And Tommy, and this makes total sense. Tommy he was never there at all. He was never there. He was only there for the fight scenes, which he did dubs over because, don't need him for that. You don't really ever see him in the suit the first half of the season at all. You never really see him with his helmet off. Like, I think you see him with his helmet off once. They had him on set for a suit, and that was about it. Once or twice.
I'm not too familiar with that. They probably did.
Like once or twice they did.
Yeah.
All the rest of them, they had them in suits and stuff.
Like you said, they were trying to write them out, and that was, movie magic. TV magic.
Exactly. Movie magic.
Uh-huh.
And and so the only thing that makes total sense for me is he's hanging out with his brother in America on the Indian reservation because he has to go back and forth between America and Japan to, take care of monsters. And like, kind of makes sense, right? Like,
makes total sense. There's gonna be some time delay.
He's an orphan, I don't think small time delay. Got to get in touch with Tommy. And if he's doing stock car stuff, he's not gonna hit his communicator. He can't. You ever seen those stock car suits, man? Like, you can't get to nothing.
You're strapped in there, like.
You're strapped in there harder than Billy. You ever seen his bucket seats?
I need me a 5-point just to get in my office chair.
Exactly. I do a K-turn.
Oh, man. Yeah, right. So it kind of explains a lot, like they not knowing Tommy, though, if you think about it, if, they were in a small town, the locals would know who you are since they see you all the time.
It's clear they live in a small town. Like, it's clear they do. Like, the graduate class is super small. Like, everyone knows each other. And if you really want to get to it, even in the movie, the Jason character was known by everybody in the small little town.
Ouch.
Hi, this is Ben from Baker Rangers, and soon we'll have a new show called Taku Tuesday. On this show, we talk about tokusatsu, Godzilla, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and even some more obscure tokusatsu that's out there. Just keep a lookout. Coming soon. Taku Tuesday, only on Baker Rangers.
So what'd you say about the graduation?
Oh, like it's a super small graduation. Like, I think 35 people, something like that.
Their senior trip was to a botanical garden, which are popular over there,
and a recycling center.
Pretty big thing.
That's kind of a thing for Japan.
Yeah, I don't know about recycling center, but I know botanicals are pretty popular.
Honestly, I think recycling center is pretty cool. They use fire. Lots of fire. Hey, it's fire. Very beautiful. But yeah, no. Seriously though,
yeah,
that's a trope for Japanese students to go to something like that, especially in anime. I know anime is not real life, but it's a huge trope, man.
Yeah,
like
big time.
I know we're stretching leads here on this one, but it makes sense if you think about it for half.
Yeah, just the correlation. We're not specifically saying it, but the correlation kind of leads to it.
Yeah, we're just kind of guiding you to it.
That's like the next point here is like if you look at everybody's dressed normal, but then you got these guys that are what we call greasers.
Yeah. And so I had to look this up, actually. I had to look this up because I knew that Japanese subculture had something like this, where like they were kind of like greasers and stuff, because they have those people with those humongous pompadours,
Yes.
like those pompadour, the big humongous front swath of the hair, and that was back in like the late '90s, which was like 50s things for us, and then the next generation was greasers.
Yeah.
And so late 90s would have been like early 2000s would have been the greaser look for them if you want the timeline and stuff. And so that kind of makes sense there too. And so we got these greasers, and there's a whole subculture called the Yankees. And the only bad part about this whole setup is I did a lot of research on the Yankees and who they are, what they are. And so you have Yankees who are trash people, like they're trash Americophiles, and then you have a subculture of Yankees who are just the worst kind of people ever made.
Oh wow.
They're essentially boy band yakuzas.
Oh wow.
Boy band yakuzas.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like, yeah, it's all terrible.
Like right now, the trend I think in Japan is like the I don't know what you call them. They look like essays and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They have it's the Hispanic culture. The Hispanic culture is what they got right now with like the dicky shorts and the tattoos everywhere, and I mean, which
that's gonna age super well.
They already do the full body tattoos as a traditional thing for like Yakuza?
No, that's it used to be a traditional thing, and then it went to Yakuza thing, and then, but they always had it underneath the suit. Like it was never anywhere they could be able to shown.
Exactly, they would always leave slits so that you can have like a shirt open and not see them.
Yeah, or you would have, or they would do like the full body, and then it would come up to like the middle of the forearm kind of thing.
Yeah,
and so it would never come out of the sleeves, so no one could ever see it, kind of thing. And it was kind of hidden in plain sight.
Wasn't there a doctor? I think a Japanese doctor that was cutting their skin off to show the artworks after they die.
Yeah. There was. It's in a museum as well. It's really cool. Oh my goodness! Like some of the Yakuza stuff they got going on over there.
Little disturbing,
but they make
art.
Is beautiful and terrifying.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh.
And so these greasers are driving American antiques. If you look at all the other cars in the show, they're all modern cars.
Modern-esque cars.
Yeah, modern-esque cars for that time. But these guys got greasers, which we also looked up that importing and owning them are fairly cheap compared to
like
here.
Super cheap compared to what you're thinking it is. Like here, like, you have to pay if you live in a state with mandatory insurance, so you have to pay your insurance, you have to pay your titles if you have a title or something like that, or you gotta pay inspection if you have an inspection in your state, and like all the fees associated with it and all that stuff. And over there, like you still have those fees and stuff, but they're dirt cheap.
Yeah, super cheap.
Like in total, it comes out like $3,000 a year.
Yeah,
like
$3,000 a year for everything.
Yeah, everything. And like, how much you spend a year on your car, Billy?
That's a lot.
More than that.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
So, not bad. It's just like, well, dang, man.
And with further investigation to that, the highways in Japan are all toll roads.
I have a consistent distaste for toll roads. I think toll roads are stupid.
I do too.
But like, it makes sense because the whole like Tokyo is a mega city, and it's designed not for cars. Like it's designed for trains, buses. Like it's designed for that. And so you're not going to ever really get on the highway unless you're leaving town. And when you're leaving town, they want to gouge you while they can, right?
Yeah.
Like, aha! Even when you go like to little towns outside of it, like it's still like you get off the toll road and like you drive those back roads basically from there on out. And like that makes total sense. Like it makes sense for what it is. And I'm not going to say like I'm a Japaneseophile, but like I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when you ever see videos of like downtown Tokyo or anywhere in Tokyo, you see a lot of foot traffic.
Oh yeah, the whole thing is set up for foot traffic. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, you know how on time their trains are?
I'm assuming they're spot on.
They're within like 5 seconds. It's ridiculous.
Ah, damn.
Like I did a lot of research on this too for this video, but we didn't use any of it. But I did a lot of research on this. So they have 5 major train stations. Okay, 5 major train stations around Tokyo, and then there's 15 sub train stations for those 5 trains, each one of them. So there's 5 main, and then 15 for all 5 of those. So it's 15 times 5, which is 65 more train stations, 70 train stations for just the main railroads.
Yeah.
That's just the main stuff. Okay, that's 75 across the whole, like, and there's multiple trains going all the time to each location. And they do daily maintenance checks every single day on every inch of the entire like rail system every day.
And don't they have the high speeds as well? The high speed
Yeah, they
rails?
have the high speed bullet trains, but not in the city. It's when you leave the city. So say you're going to like from Tokyo to Shibuya or something like that, or you're going down south to I can't remember any other names. But you're going down south, like you take the bullet train. Or like you're any far distance things, you're taking the bullet train. It's not too bad, and like you get across Japan like a couple hours.
Ah. If you liked Mark as the Red Cornish Ranger, you might like the Zeotohero podcast. The Red Cornish Ranger is a proud partner of the Zeotohero Network.
If you want to see more of our partners like Baker Rangers, Neon Lights, and other friends of the show, follow us on all the socials at Zeotohero. Yay.
So, in our theories, they show the command center in like a mountain range or like in some mountains. And so we kind of figured out that this must be somewhere near Mount Fuji. And
so
that's what we were thinking, and then the town was not too far, which was
so we'll get to the town, but so we've seen the command center, and we all know what it is. It's a library for the humanities. It's a library of the humanities at the California Jewish College over in outside of LA. All right, so it's north of LA. It's really, really, really cool. It's super easy to get to. It's right outside of DeSoto or something like that. DeSoto. It's like if you go to LA, it's an hour drive from LA while you're there. But it's in a mountain range. So every time you see it, it's shot at a mountain range. Like it looks like it's a mountain range every time you see it. It's not on a mountain range. It's covered in grass. It's great, but it's every time you see it shot, it looks like it's on a mountain range because that's how they have the still set up. And so, like, you think about it, you're like, okay, where else is there mountain ranges, and where's a huge mountain range? Well, guess what? Japan has a pretty big mountain range. So you have Mount Fuji, and then you have a bunch of little mountains across, like to the side of it. And so, like, it could be in that mountain. It's on a volcanic. It's on a volcanic fault line. And so, like, you know how we have the we have the 2 mountain ranges in America, right? We have the 2 major ones in America, and they both go all the way down to Mexico, or not all the way down. They go pretty far. Like, one goes all the way through Mexico, all the way down to South America. The one on the West Coast. The one on the East Coast stops at Florida. Okay, so they're on fault lines, and so you have a mountain range of that fault line. And guess what Japan has? It has a fault line. So you have this mountain range with a fault line. Because guess where they're located on? They're located on something called the Ring of Fire, which is a tectonic plate that circles the Sea of Japan that's all just volcanoes. And it's awesome. Well, it's not awesome. Like, it causes earthquakes all the time. And, like, tsunamis. That's why Japan has a lot of tsunamis. So the tsunamis start at the Ring of Fire and hit their shores. That's why they get not exactly why, but that's a good reason why they get tsunamis. So it would make sense. There's a mountain range. You sit there looking at the Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji is a volcano. And it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool mountain, and then you have another range right next to it, and then you start looking around towns that kind of meet the description of like what the Rangers are dealing with, like little towns, avenues, street names, stuff Americanized. A lot of American-esque things are
There's
there.
some-
You start looking for military bases, and you find a military base called, what is it called again?
Yokota.
Yokota military base. That is with not walking distance, but it's really close to the
Yeah.
mountain range.
There's also not
Fusha.
too far from it a harbor, which could house the Dragon Zord.
Dragonzord.
It came out of the water, out of the harbor, so that could be a specific spot for it.
Yeah, like
Still
and
there,
they're
probably
always
till
fighting
today.
Stuff. Yeah, they're always fighting stuff over there, and they're always fighting in the harbor. They're always fighting. And so you look at these look at Fusha, and there's mining operations there as well. Near, not exactly in it, but like there's I think a salt mine and some other mines close by, where there could be a granite mine where they're doing these fight battles at.
Yeah,
Could
be it.
Exactly. On top of that, so I was thinking about why they do these smaller fights,
right?
In like the parks and stuff. I know we didn't put this in the video, and I really wanted to put this in the video. And you know how they do the smaller fights with just the rangers and the monster and the putties, right?
Right.
It's to induce fear
into the people, right?
Yeah, and because everyone runs away, but the rangers, right? Everyone else runs away because but the monsters don't ever do any real damage when they're just the smaller monster and the putties. They just induce fear,
right?
And so fear is a powerful tool. Okay, and that's going to get to even more of a dictatorship ruling idea. Rita, Zed, King Mondo, and Divatox are not stupid. They are conquerors.
Oh yeah,
for a reason. They know to induce fear into the population, and then when people are afraid, they're easier to control.
Yes.
You induce fear, easier to control. Voila, there, ifto facto, there you go. And so then you watch the Rangers beat up these monsters, which still terrifies the normal population. They're still afraid, and then they make these monsters grow into these humongous monsters, which I think actually takes a little bit of time. It's not instant. It takes like a few minutes.
I think it's a little time, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah. Speaking of that, there's since Tokyo is not very horizontal, but more vertical, and I would imagine that a lot of the other cities emulate that kind of building style.
Kind of.
Would you think that there would be underground bunkers or like hideouts for evacuations? Because you never see like civilians running around during these Zord fights or during like the whole. The only thing you see is them running away from the initial introduction of the monsters.
I really, really wish I could have used this footage. This is amazing footage between the difference between America Comic-Con and Japanese Comic-Con, but how well the filing system works, like to get people in and out of the building.
Oh yeah.
And I really wish I could have found that video, and it was really cool. And I saw it once, and it kind of makes us look bad. A and B, it lines up with this idea that there's like underground bunkers everywhere in Japan, like in Tokyo, for these people to run and hide at, so they won't die from these giant monster attacks, right?
Exactly.
And so, okay, and then you think about this, okay? So these monsters grow, all right, and then they go and attack buildings that are empty, right? Like they're attacking industrial zones or something like that. They're not really ever attacking residentials, right? They're not really attacking residential.
Never.
Or like
it's always a big city.
They're never attacking single family housing. They're always attacking buildings.
Yes.
And those buildings are normally city buildings and or apartment buildings, and then it's always trying to hit the lower class.
Damn, you got to keep the poor man down, huh?
That's right.
God damn it.
They're everywhere. Well, yeah, so they're destroying these buildings, but they're trying to cause maximum damage without damaging the actual infrastructure of the area.
Right.
Because if you destroy the infrastructure, you destroy the working class. And the working class is what you need to control with fear. In this case, you need to control the fear and you be able to take over whatever. So never really destroying infrastructure. And this is brought up with Zed, actually. In the comics, Zed takes over a small part of the Angel Grove, okay? And he rebuilds the entire infrastructure for the whole town, like the whole section of town. And, like, it's a paradise.
Right.
For the residents living there. And they're like, why do we have to trust the power? I know the comics and the show deviate really differently from each other. And and Zed's like, oh yeah, look, I've made this paradise for all these people living here. This is what I would happen if you're under my rule, not under Zordon and the government. This is my rule. You live in a paradise. And you try to convince people to come live in this paradise. And so, like, they're not trying to destroy infrastructure because critical infrastructure needs to be there. So, like, libraries, schools, hospitals need to be there. They're destroying these, like, big buildings that don't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Si te gusta Mark como el Red Cornish Ranger, puede que te guste el Podcast Zero Hero. El Red Cornish Ranger es un orgulloso socio de Zero Hero Network. Si quieres ver más de él o de nosotros socios, como Baker Rangers, Ni Alliance y nosotros otros amigos de programa, síguenos en las redes sociales. zeotohero.
All right. So bunkers. Do you want to talk about bunkers like people bunkers or like the Zord bunkers or the Zord
bunkers? So
Zord
if
bunkers.
you also watch in because Turbo is kind of like the season we saw this at.
I got this.
No,
I got this. Hold on. I got this one.
God
I got
damn,
this.
I'm gonna cut you.
You start with season 1. All the Zords come out of mountain ranges, right?
Yeah.
So like the T-Rex sword comes out of a volcano. The Pterodactyl sword flies out of a mountain range. The Mammoth Zord is in a ice path, right? Okay, so they all come out of a mountain range, and the saber-tooth tiger Zord comes out of the jungle. Cool. Okay, all that's around there, and then you go from there, and you get season 2. They all change. They all come in the same place, but they get hit by thunder, right? Season 3, you got the Ninja Zords. We're all coming out of the damn city. Like, they're coming out of the city, so they're coming out of, like, Tokyo and stuff, right? In season 4, you get the hangars. You get the hangars and the giant cannon built into the mountain for the Zeo Zords.
Yeah.
Right.
All
right. And then season 5, you get a damn underground bunker underneath the damn toll roads in Tokyo, because that's where the Megazords are. That's where the Megazords are, the Turbo Megazord, and then the Rescue Megazords in the damn sewer. And then at the end of the season, they get a above ground and full display bunker.
It looks like it's in sort of like facility, like an athletic dome.
It looks like an athletic dome, but it's a bunker to hold the Megazords.
I'm picking up what you're putting down here, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna
throw my whole desk down. I'm so mad about this.
I wish you had the adjustable desk. So you're like, I'm putting the desk down. You're like,
put the desk down.
There you go. Now that's what I call fat guy friendly.
Damn right. Okay. But yeah, like, all the Megazords are coming out, and I know it's stock footage. I know this.
Yes.
I fully understand this. But they're all jumping into the Megazords or the Zords in relatively close places to where they have these battles at. And it looks like it's clearly in Japan. So yeah.
That kind of comes to our conclusion. And also, do you want to talk about Zordon, like knowing Nasada?
I will go on a full-on rant about Zordon.
Oh yeah, let's not.
I can do an hour rant on Zordon alone.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. How like
you want to get on this?
Wait, he knew about Andros. He did not tell them.
Okay, I want to go to those rants. Okay,
no,
you have the Wild West Rangers, right?
Yes,
you have them. You have the command center that is built into a into a barn, right? All right. Okay. That means he was in America at one point.
Okay.
And it was in a flat plains when they had the command center and the Wild West Rangers, right?
Oh, okay. Go on.
They moved.
Right.
They moved from America, Wild West America, to Japan, because Wild West America sucked.
Oh, yes.
They had a Tommy there that was causing havoc. They didn't deal with that nonsense. No. And if you really want to get to it, that Tommy there could help them move to Japan because he knew that the new Rangers were all going to be in Japan, so he had to move everyone over there, and including taking the families of the Rangers over there because he knew they needed to be over there.
Okay.
So he's been to the future. He knows what's happening. He's an orphan anyways. He doesn't know his parents.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't know where his parents came from because Tommy's an orphan. He doesn't know anything about his parents.
You're hurting people's feelings.
Oh yeah, let's get this. So evil Tommy took Zordon or helped them because Tommy's like the most loyal like Rangers out there for Zordon,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah.
Okay, so even evil like former evil Tommy is gonna be one of the most loyal people you're ever gonna get. So he's gonna help them move all out there to Japan because it's gonna be far easier to deal with, and you can even get into the fact that he's still a Ranger when everyone else leaves with the green power coin, right?
Right.
We've seen the power coins help people, do some crazy things, and the Morphin Grid can help you live a long time.
Uh-huh.
So that could be a thing to help them get all out there and get them all set up.
Maybe
away from America.
Maybe
hence
that Tommy...
why the suits don't have the thingies on the wrist anymore.
Yeah. Maybe that Tommy was the start of Draken.
Nah, it's different timeline, man. Come on. That's a whole different thing.
Hey, man. Apples to apples.
Hey, man. Apples to pears. Okay. But yeah, so when he moves from America to Japan, okay?
Okay.
Then World War II happens, okay? So production scales up really quickly in Japan for World War II, all right? World War I happened. Japan didn't care. They weren't really part of it. World War II happened, scaled up. Zordon realized that there's a lot of stuff going on with the Nazi powers that needs to be stopped, right? Like, he couldn't do anything because he didn't know anyone. He didn't have connections because he was still in hypersleep. He was still asleep at that point in time, okay?
Right.
So he started making connections with the people after World War I, or after World War II. He started making connections with people in the government to have his fingers in all the pies to help kind of curb the Japanese, curb the Japanese government to more sustainability so it would last longer. And then he has figures with the pies. Okay, so that means he had people. He's connected with all the construction people. He's connected with the government people. He's connected with all the land surveyors. He's connected to everyone because he realized if I get connected with everybody, no one can ever figure out what's going on with me. And then I can help set up Nazada. All right, start setting that up. Hence why you don't ever see anywhere where the command center is at, right? No one knew about the command center until the Rangers first showed up there. You don't ever hear about anyone finding it, right?
No.
Right? Because he has land surveyors not having, showing up.
It's pretty much a blip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go, man. He has his fingers in everyone's paws. How do you think he got those, how do you think he got that giant cannon installed to the side of a mountain range?
Exactly. How did he get that whole bunker in the side of that mountain for the Super Zords?
Anyone talking about it?
Nobody talking about it. Nobody's talking about the excavation of the side of a mountain. It's implied
that Billy did all the work, but no, that man did not do all that work. Not a damn chance.
No.
There was contractors. Okay, so you know the Batman theory? That Batman has all this cool stuff. He has a lazy Susan for his nuclear powered car, right?
Right.
But no one talks about it, right?
Right.
No one can figure it out because he's paid off a lot of people. He has his hands in everyone's pockets. So no one knows anything about what's going on down underneath Wayne Manor because no one's talking about it because he has money in people's pockets.
Exactly. Nobody's going to talk.
Exact same concept as Zordon. Zordon's Batman.
Yeah. Oh, no. He was born in darkness.
He adopts kids.
Oh. Okay.
Zordon's Batman.
Because he's Batman.
You're Batman.
Oh man.
But yeah, so he had this people. He curbed Japan to what they are now, or in that case, in a highly industrial zone that could produce parts for the Megazords at a rapid pace.
They probably had a repair team too. I know
But
Alpha was repairing some. Alpha and Billy would, but I think, maybe they need more than 2 hands.
Exactly. I think they need a lot more hands than that. I know you can get the idea that Alpha has a lot of drones floating around out there. That's fine. But where they get the drones from?
Right. Maybe they have like a whole repair squad, like a NASCAR pit stop team, and they're called like the Power Squad.
Exactly. Well, they're called the Unknown Squad.
Yeah. And then, like, whenever they have a birthday, it's just like, oh, happy birthday from the Unknown Squad. Congratulations.
They could be like Severance.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, congratulations on your 4th year anniversary here.
Okay. Have you seen Severance yet? I don't think you have. But okay, it's where they go to work.
Like they pay you at the very end.
Well, no, they go to work. So there's a show called Severance, and you go to work, and they implant you with this thing in your head that will split your brain in half. So you have 2 consciousness.
Oh yes. So when you go to work, your other part of your brain turns on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you don't remember what happens at work. And your work life doesn't know what happens outside.
Yes.
That could be happening to these contractors.
I mean,
Zordon has the technology.
They got
you can
the
do
technology.
It is very plausible.
Uh-oh.
I'm going on a full little rant there for a second. Oh my goodness.
That's a little deep there, buddy. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Genetically modifying humans to not see the command center.
Nah. Or maybe like a Wakanda kind of thing where like there's a bubble around it that projects something else.
But if there was that, then how did all the bad guys
how
get
did
into it? How did Zordon get into it?
Yeah, how did Divatox get there?
Exactly. How did Zed get to the command center?
Exactly.
So not only there's a bubble.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a force field later in the comics, but like the comics deviate from the main story.
Yeah.
Like the comics in the show only like really share the name and the characters. That's about it. The rest of it's completely different. And, like it's fun and everything else like that. It's a great story and stuff. But yeah.
So in retrospect, we kind of went down a couple rabbit holes this past week. We made a YouTube video. I'd say the YouTube video is pretty funny with the edits. It's pretty interesting.
They do laugh.
Yes,
you cry.
I'd laugh.
You laugh again.
It's an interesting fact to think of. It kind of keeps your mind open to different possibilities. I've seen a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about Power Rangers, and I think this one could be possibly up there with one of them.
I'm not saying Casey has the best one, but I'm pretty sure we're going to take over Casey's spot as like the top conspiracy people.
Don't put that on us, man.
I feel like we could. Like, we know enough lore about Power Rangers to do whatever you want with it. It's great.
How about we just team up with him and do like a Mighty Morphin Zeo to Hero conspiracy theories?
Kind of fun, but he does his stuff's kind of his output's kind of slow. We do weekly episodes, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
So thanks again, everybody, for listening to this one-off episode about conspiracy theory about Power Rangers in Japan and not Super Sentai.
And you can find us on everywhere with Zeo to Hero.
Yes.
And make sure you hit our Discord at discord.zeotohero.com.
Oh, yes. We have been growing in that, too, so hop on in.
You can also help support us with co-fi.com/zeotohero. And if you want to, we have a merch store open. Our merch store is open.
Oh, yes.
Our merch store is here.
I have a shirt through them, and it's a nice shirt with our logo.
It's on our website. It's zeotohero.com/shop.
Yes.
That's our merch store. You can buy everything from the site. It's all in one place. You're good.
Yes.
I got some stickers. I got a sticker up there that's
pretty funny.
But I got a sticker up there. And and anywhere else? Anything else, Billy?
Definitely check out some of our partners. We have a couple new ones. Definitely check out. We'll post them up throughout the week. Red Cornish Rangers coming out with a couple cool things. Cosplay
Willie,
Dude 637, which his name's Willie, but everybody knows it's a Cosplay Dude. He has a story time with me. He also has fairy tales which is a multitude of different voice actors, which they pretty much complement each other. It's pretty good. Yeah. Definitely check that out. We got Baker Rangers with Ben. He has a new show out on every Friday called the Nerdyverse.
Yeah, Nerdverse, yeah, something like that. It's every Friday.
Basically, he just covers that week's episodes of different TV shows. No telling what's going to be on it for the week.
Taco Tuesdays are coming.
Taco Tuesdays.
Check out Neon Lights, by the way. It's going to start picking back up here again soon.
Yes.
Also, Red Corner Ranger, Iron Avenger. I know his stuff slowed down a little bit, but he's going to start picking it back up here soon again, too. And be prepared for the next episode with Sam on.
Oh,
God. She roasts people again.
Yeah. We're going to let loose.
That's coming up real soon, too. Ha-ha! All right. I think that's it. That's all the big ones. Let's see if we have anyone I'm missing.
That's it.
Baker Rangers. Everyone else on our Discord server, here's your shout out. There you go. Good luck. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, join our Discord server. Have fun. We talk about all kinds of stuff. It's not just PR stuff.
Oh, it's everything. Yes, everything.
Yeah, we get a little bit of everything. But yeah. All right, guys. Catch y'all later. Have a good time. Do I believe in you? No. Does anyone else believe in you? Probably not.